All right, today we're jumping into a really profound idea from the Heal the World Gazette, and it's all about family legacy. But it's not what you might think. It's not about what we achieve for ourselves, but about the story, the values, the inheritance we pass down. So let's just dive right in with a big question.
It's a huge question, right? I mean, when it's all said and done, what's going to be the lasting echo of your life? This very question is really at the heart of everything we're about to unpack.
Okay, so the source material we're looking at today starts by flagging a pretty critical problem. It makes the case that something really essential is kind of getting lost in the way modern families work. The key phrase here is covenant foundation. Now, think of a covenant as way more than just a family tie. It's a deep, intentional promise, almost like a constitution for the family that defines who you are and what you stand for over time. And the source suggests that this powerful anchor is becoming super rare.
And here's the real consequence of that drift. When that foundational story gets lost, you get generations who are disconnected, not just from a spiritual history, but from their own family's unique story. The story of its faith, its struggles, its victories.
And you can see how this spirals, right? It all starts with that disconnection from the core values. And that leaves kids without what the source calls an anchor story to ground them. So what happens? The family culture shifts, and suddenly it's all driven by external achievements, not some shared, deeper purpose. And the result? You end up in this cycle where broken patterns just get passed down, and there's no spiritual foundation left for the next generation to even build on.
So this leads us to this central conflict. The source basically frames it as a clash between two totally different ways of thinking about what a family legacy even is.
And this slide just lays it all out, side by side. On the left, you've got the world's view of legacy. It's all about what you can measure. The money, the good schools, the opportunities you provide. The focus is entirely on what your children achieve. But then, look at the right. This other path is totally different. It says a true legacy is internal. It's the deliberate passing down of faith and character. And here, what matters most isn't what your kids do, it's who they become.
Okay, so if that's the problem, what's the solution? This is where the source makes a really cool pivot. It suggests that the key lies in this powerful act of intentional remembering.
This quote from the book of Joshua gives us the perfect metaphor for the solution. The story is fascinating. After a huge miracle, the people were told to build a monument of stones. And the reason was so simple but so profound. It was built so that one day, their kids would see it and ask, "Hey, what do these stones mean?" You see, the monument wasn't just a memory, it was a conversation starter. It was an invitation to tell the story of faith all over again.
And this brings us to a really clear definition. A covenant legacy isn't something that just happens. It's not an accident. It's a structured, intentional commitment to not just live out your faith, but to actually create memorials to it for the next generation.
So how does this ancient idea actually apply to us today? Well, the source argues our stones aren't literal rocks we're piling up in the living room. Our stones are the stories we tell at dinner. They're the traditions we keep, the practices we have. They're the intentional conversations that make our kids curious and get them to ask those big questions. Okay, so what's the real payoff here? What are the actual, tangible benefits of building a family culture this way? Well, the source outlines some very practical, real-world results. The source material really emphasizes this core idea, and this proverb just nails it. The character of the parent becomes the true inheritance of the child. According to this view, your integrity is the single most valuable asset you can pass on. It creates the foundation for their entire future.
And what's wild is how holistic these benefits are. I mean, it starts with morality and integrity, which then naturally leads to better mental health, the kind that comes from a really secure home. But it doesn't stop there. It extends to things like finances, through stewardship, and even physical health, through discipline. And the ultimate outcome? Your family becomes this incredible launchpad for people who go out and actually change the world.
So this brings it all back to us, to you and me. How do you actually start building this in your own life? It has to become personal and actionable.
And this is the most important question, isn't it? It's one thing to understand a big idea, but it's a whole other thing to actually put it into practice. I mean, where do you even begin?
And what I love is that the source material suggests a beautifully simple first step. Don't try to change your whole world overnight, just start with one stone. Tell one story, a moment where you saw God show up, a turning point, a small miracle, and then, and this is key, write it down. Make that story a tangible piece of your family's history they can hold on to.
And that leaves us with a final thought to chew on.
If you started placing these stones of remembrance in your family's life, right now, today, what story would they begin to tell for the generations that are going to follow you?
And just so you know, this entire explainer was based on source material from the Heal the World